Okay, so a few women were asking how they could go about supporting local farmers. So the Black woman farmer, she came back and she dropped a few voice notes on how you can go about supporting the local farmers in your area. So here is a quick set of voice notes from her on that piece.
So, the best way that you can support a local farmer, especially a black one, is most farmers markets take place during the weekends. Not all, but the majority of them. Go and visit your local farmers market. Okay, look up on Google, type in farmers markets in my area, go to them, look around, see if there's a black farmer in your area that you can support. The black farmers are the ones that are going to need the most financial help because we do not qualify to get subsidies, we don't get grants, we don't get anything. So we need every dollar that we can possibly get. Talk to them, build some type of rapport, exchange information like phone numbers and emails. Some black farmers have something called a farm stand, or they have a little shed where you can just come there that's segregated from the rest of their property and you can buy directly from them on their property. I do not have this because I'm not comfortable having strangers in my yard. But a lot of black farmers have online companies where you can just order direct from them. Now, there is something that I definitely want to warn your viewers. The cost of everything is about to skyrocket because of the cost of grain. So, what they're going to experience is sticker shock. And this is inevitable. But yeah, talk to your local farmer. Ask them what their farming practices are. Find out, what do they feed their chickens? What do they feed their cattle? Um, what are the farming practices that they practice, like permaculture? Do your chickens get hormone injections and stuff like that? If anyone is offended by you questioning their farming practices, then that's a red flag that they are not for you. So that's my advice. Try to put money in a black farmer's pocket and just tell everyone that I said good luck. So thanks again, Ash. I really appreciate you helping me to sound the alarm.
Then later on in the afternoon, the same day that she was talking about what you could do to support your local farmers, she came back and gave me another message. She said that next week she's going to be meeting up with other people via Zoom, and she was going to write down some notes and she was going to deliver them to me on some brainstorming that they were doing on how they're going to try to keep people fed during this time that they know is coming. And she said that when she meets up with them, she's going to give me those notes or whatever, and I'll be able to, send them off to you or make a video for y'all. So that is coming. Lastly, she gave me several minutes worth of voice notes talking about what the Trump administration is doing as far as trying to swoop in and take people's farms for pennies on the dollar. And she's talking about some of the history on how Black people were denied grants and how she has personally been denied several grants within the last year. They just do not give the grants to the Black people, even though supposedly Black people, Black farmers over in the course of this country were supposed to get farm type of reparations, the whole 40 acres and a mule. So go ahead and listen to this. Go ahead and listen to this set of voice notes. Now, obviously, if you hear the pauses, that's because these are 1 minute clips that I am squishing together. So go ahead and give her a listen to that as well.
Hey, Ash. So, what Trump is doing is this. So, he wants the farmers to go out of business. Okay, that's the plan. I know this for a fact. When the farm is up for auction, he and his rich billionaire friends are going to swoop in and they're going to buy up these hundreds and hundreds of thousands of acres for pennies on the dollar. And then they will have complete and total control over our food supply. That's the plan. So I find this absolutely funny because they prevented Black farmers from getting reparations. That's number one. And they took our farms from us through faulty practices stemming back centuries. There was a treaty. I don't remember what president it was that signed the treaty. It was after emancipation that every single Black person was supposed to get 40 acres and a mule. I don't know what the math is, but there was a gentleman on YouTube who did like the basic math, and he said that if the government had kept up to the treaty, the Black farmers who were promised the 40 acres and their mule, in today's economy, it would have been worth over $10 million. After white farmers were outraged by that treaty, they rescinded and they took it back. So that brings us to the present day, where the majority of Black people that have farming ancestry are poor. And the ones who are able to save up the money to buy bits and pieces of farmland, especially throughout the South, cannot get grants. I myself applied for about 5 grants last year, 2024, from everything from a micro grant, which could be as little as $500, to a USDA grant. And some of those grants can go up to $1 million. Every single grant that I applied for, I was denied. This administration does not want Black people at all to be able to have any type of sovereignty, because your land is your wealth. Your land, your ability to keep and own land and to grow your own food, is the greatest level of freedom that you're going to have on this planet. Because what's the one thing that you can use to control a population? Is the food. A hungry person will do anything that you tell them to do for a hot meal. So this is a plot. And I'm going to tell you something. It's almost like poetic justice, because if white farmers had banded together with us and they had not signed all of those petitions to convince former administrations from giving us grants, from giving us loans. I don't know if you know the history of John Deere, but John Deere refused to work with Black farmers until today. They said that they're not giving us loans for their farm equipment. If they had not done that to us, right now, there would be more farmers living in America to help this population so we don't go hungry. But because of their racism, now everyone is going to have to suffer. There's a part of me that wants to feel sad for these white farmers, but I know how they get down, and they are so dirty. They are so wicked. They are so evil and so racist with their intentions that I don't feel sorry for them that they're losing a farm that's been in the family for 6 generations, especially when you know how they got that farm in the first place. It's very hard for me to have empathy for them. I feel nothing. What I do feel empathy for are the Black population who are indigent, the Black population who are elderly, those of us who need proper nutrition so that we can keep going. There are some Black people who can't have salt, they can't have sugar. Some of them can't eat gluten, and they rely on us to feed them nutritious food that's not going to hurt their tummies. I also feel bad for my people who are living in food deserts that do not have access to fresh farmers markets, and they have to rely on like a local corner store. I feel bad for that, but I don't have any sympathy for these Caucasians. They cut off their nose to spite their face, and now they're going to have to live with being disfigured. Oh well.